Sir, can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. So my project title is called Food Waste, a Rebound, and I chose site number 3. So the strengths are that it is a diverse site location, and there is an opportunity for a good pedestrian road development, and the greenery is still present, which can be used. The weaknesses include there are no direct access to the main road, lorries are packed for the warehouses on site, and a lot of the site greenery has been demolished due to the lorries going in and out of the site. So opportunities include there are catering diverse groups of people. There are a large community around for volunteer works, and the target groups include the local community, which are all of the ages present, and local workers. So my problem statement is that there are a lack of public recreational spaces, improper access to warehouses and vernacular homes, improper circulation, and there is a threat to improper disposal of industrial waste or specifically food waste. So the solutions that I was thinking about were creating a recreational public space that complies with COVID-19 regulations in order to combat the pandemic, creating a proper circulation and parking spaces for both residential homes as well as surrounding warehouses, and creating a workshop that encourages the community to engage in handling of industrial waste as well as recycling to combat water and land pollution. So, along the 15 minutes of the site radius, I found that this was the best site to choose for the idea that I want to propose because there are a lot of um, food waste and garbage, specifically mostly in this area, because of the industries that serve food. So I want to suggest a proposal on reusing food waste that is being deposited every single day by these industries. So how can we reuse the waste food? So the methods conclude composting, which is just using the food waste to help farm or plant small plants on the site, animal feeding, anaerobic digestion, which is basically putting the food waste in tanks that do not have oxygen and allowing them to be digested and later on used for these crops. And the last one is ethanol production, which can be used later on for gasoline and petrol, but this is a quite complicated procedure, so it is optional for now. And there are a lot of benefits for reusing industrial food waste, which includes eliminating landfill costs, renewing revenue streams, and labor saving. So I wanted to add a zip line kind of that extends along the 1.6 kilometer distance from the site, and these zip lines carry there's mechanical zip lines carry composite garbage bins that makes it a lot easier for the community to engage in the process of reusing food waste. So it's not only for big companies or um, big warehouses, like for example EconSave, which is right across from the site. It can also be used by people from their homes. It encourages people to um, easily transport these wastes into the composite fields. And here is the workshop where people actually can plant their own crops and plant their own little plants around this site. And it's a way not to let the food go to waste, and instead it's being used for something else. And there are also anaerobic tanks on site. If the waste that is digested does not get used in the site, it can also be shipped off somewhere else where they can be used for other kinds of fields. So, as explained before, the zip line extends for the 1.6 kilometers, and it is a mechanical zip line, but the exact mechanics of it is not yet clear. But I was looking into how mechanical zip lines in general work, not just for waste bins, and for example, the ones where people use like you just write on it and stuff like that. So I wanted to add that kind of mechanic into it. It can also be moved or pushed by hand to the composite site in case the mechanical one was not useful. And yeah, I think that's it for me.
Okay, Meryl, thank you very much. I think the idea is there,
Hmm.
but I think the implementation and the design something that I really need to query lah, and a big question mark to me. Okay, Number one, um, why we need such mechanism, the food waste zip line,
Yeah.
regardless whether that one will be operated by mechanical way or by manual, you know. Um, why do you need that? For example, if I am for example, for the housing, okay, I live in my house, and then what you need to do is just give the awareness program that you should do the food waste, apa tu nama? Um,
Composting.
composite,
Yeah.
composing your food waste at your own backyard. So there's nothing. I mean, you don't need this proposal, for example.
Yes, of course, that's true, but I think it encourages people to do something as a community because, for example, I know a lot of people that grow their own parsley, for example, in their balconies, and some people do want to do it, but they find it very it's a hard thing to do and it's a hard thing to keep up with. So if you have a whole community of people that are encouraging you to do such a thing, it would make it a lot easier for you to keep up with such a process. And with the zip line, like, yes, I can just walk to the site, let's say for the composite field, but with the zip line, it makes it a lot easier. For example, if you live a bit far away, you don't have to walk the 1.6 kilometers every single day, for example, for you to just transport these things. And it just makes it a lot easier for people.
Okay. Yeah, but I understand your justification lah, but I still feel that I just do in my my backyard lah. But yeah, it's a good design. I mean, it's a good idea. Idea is good, you know. But in terms of implementation, I think it can be like you proposing a street of. I mean, probably it don't have to be in a high tech approach. You know, it can be like a low tech approach. For example, you identify one of the backyard of the housing area, for example, and then turn the backyard to be something that very usable for the composting the food waste. At the same time, also that backyard can be designed with a very good place for people to exercise, to do, you know, it is you designing the backyard, which is the backyard is actually people will see it as something that the place that you don't want to go lah, because it's backyard, it's filthy, not nice, not properly taken care of, you know. So my idea is basically the same to you, but instead of, I mean, investing money and then get one place to you know, and then you need to have a people to operate your composting center. Might as well you create. I mean, you take one street, for example, one street or one backyard, a stretch of backyard, and then turn that into a community project. You know. That is why I think more viable lah compared to your proposal lah. I think, you know, but nothing wrong. You know, you may have your own opinion lah. But my thinking is something that is very practical and it address the community. I mean the interaction in between the community lah. Okay, that's number one. Okay, I would like to go to your apa tu nama? Can you zoom up? Okay, I want to see the above there. Yeah, the SWOT analysis. Okay, you identify a lot of strength and weakness, opportunity. You're talking about the improper circulation, but how are you going to, you know, by having your proposal, how are you going to improve the improper circulation? It's not really.
I wanted to include that, and in my last meeting with Miss Aina, she mentioned that it can be just a side thing that I don't need to really talk about much, because I did have a whole plan to um, fix up the site, like just the site area and the access to it and all these kinds of things. And uh, I think because there were two different ideas that I was supposed to only stick to one, maybe, which makes it easier and faster. So maybe including that in the weaknesses, if I'm not gonna fix it, is not a good idea. Or should I fix it up along with the food waste thing?
Or maybe you try to be another Wonder Woman or a superhero, you know? Okay, for example, if you using my idea just now, how to improve the circulation. So instead of people are using the main road, they can use the backyard, you know? So that is more viable to address the issues, you know? And my advice is actually, if you think that the strength, weakness, opportunity that you list out here, you know, doesn't really help you in terms of to strengthen your design ideas, I think just just close one eye. You know, you don't have to list down it. Basically, as I mentioned, like, we're not a superhero. We cannot solve the entire problems of Meru town. In fact, I cannot resolve the problem of my office. You know, so aim small, miss small. You know, when you aim small, you miss small. Meaning you focus on certain items only. The rest, leave it. You know, it's other people responsibility to think about that. Or probably if we extend the semester, next semester we can have another more one. We can address one more issues. For example, you know.
Yeah.
All right. I think I'm joking. All right. Okay, Meryl, I think you understand what I'm trying to tell you, right?
Yeah, I understand.
All right. Okay, what you need to do, Meryl,
Yes.
no, show back your presentation.
Okay.
Okay. What you should do, what you should upgrade is actually number one. Try to. I mean, if you still stick to this idea, I think what you need to do is try to develop the way or the method how to make this thing works lah. You know, that's number one. Number two, in terms of probably we want to see the sections. We want to see the from the plan how the route. I mean, you do it in 3D, right? But we want to see a bit the connection. Probably that route is actually connecting to the residential area or commercial area, so that we understand that okay, this is the route, and then how it goes to the central point lah, the central composting point. All right.
Okay.
So in plan, so that it's very it's easy to understand lah, basically. All right, Meryl.
Okay.
Thank
Sure.
you very much.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Don't feel sad, Emerald.
Sorry?
No problem. Don't feel sad. No,
It's okay. I just it's very hard, this project. I'm kind of confused with it. Like if I
understand.
do too
I
much,
also
then
understand.
this is too much, and yeah, I know. It's okay.
Never
Thank
mind.
you,
We
sir.
conclude that in a final wrap up session later. Okay.
Yes,
All right.
sure.
Next is